we've got a test of 48 multiple choice questions, each with options A to D. Calculated the expected value. Now, if we say P equals 1 in 4, we're assuming that they're not actually making an educated guess. We're assuming that they're just choosing randomly. So it's like you're in an exam and you've got 5 minutes to go when you've realised you haven't done the multiple choice and you just go C all the way down. Choose randomly. And just as an aside, let me tell you that if students get less than quarter on the multiple choice section of an exam, we judge them so hard, because it means they could have just blindly chosen any question and they would have, on average, done better. N equals 48, so the expected value is NP, which is 48 times 0.25, so that's 12. So they should get 12 right if they choose randomly. Oh, we need to interpret it. They should be expected to get 12 right if they choose randomly. Okay, we need the standard deviation, so of course we need variance, which is 48 times 0.25 times 0.75, so it's going to be 9. Really, this is the same as the last question. Let me double check. Yeah, okay. So the standard deviation is the square root of the variance, so it's 3. Okay, question C. Miss Taylor's annoyed to discover that fail. What? Why not just call her Crayola and get it over with? Claims to have got 24 just by guessing. How many standard deviations is that above the mean? So she reckons she's got 24, which is the mean plus some kind of number, I'm going to call that Z, times the standard deviation. So 24 will be, well, the mean is 12, and we've got Z times 3. So how many lots of 3 is it above the mean? Well, it's 4 lots of 3, which means it's nearly impossible for her to have timed that. But so that'll be 12 equals Z times 3, Z equals 4, 4 standard deviations above the mean. Okay, so when we do normal distribution, which is next, you'll learn that if this is the mean, then to get one standard deviation above the mean is like 34%. To get 2 standard deviations above the mean is, hang on, what's 95 divided by 2? 47.5%. Sorry, these are all plus the other 50% because she could have gotten below. So this one comes up as 84%, 1 standard deviation above. This one comes as 97.5% chance you won't get 2 standard deviations above. So 4 standard deviations is pretty much unheard of. You'll learn the actual numbers next time. Okay, D even, because apparently numbers have order. We've got 100 questions, 5 options. Okay, so EX equals NP, which is 100. Now the probability is going to be 1 in 5 this time, so you'd reckon 20. E, we want the, what do we want, the standard deviation? Oh, we still want the standard deviation with D, sorry. So the variance, NPQ, so 100 times 1 in 5 times 4/5. So that's 16. Yes. And we want the standard deviations, so it's the square root of the variance. So it's 4. Okay, she reckons she gets 4 questions right this time. All right, let's see how much further off the mean she was. 40 questions. So this time 40 equals the mean plus z times the standard deviation, which is 4. So this is 28 equals z times 4. Yeah. She's she's cheating. Or she knows actually what she's doing and she's just trying to be cooler than her friends. More unusual. Because we're 7 standard deviations above the mean. We're way above average. And F, I did get 75% in the first test, 60% in the second. What's more unusual of her results if she's guessing? Well, the first test, because if you're guessing, oh, hang on. In the first test, she gets 75%, so 75 of the 48 equals 12 times z times 3 plus z times 3. So she got 75% of 48, which is 36. So 24 equals z times 3. So 8 equals z. Okay, let's see for the second test. So 60% of 100 and equals the mean. So that's, what was the mean again? 20 plus z times 4. So this time we've got 60. So this time z equals 10. So I think the second test was more unlikely. But again, this is assuming that they're guessing each time. So this isn't a great question because people who study tend to do better. So it's not, the probability is not going to be the same for every thing. Like she's not just guessing, she's studied for this. She knows what she's doing.